Okay folks, I'm about to start streaming the Cooking V3 demo. I hope you can all hear me nice, loud, and clear. I'm gonna go ahead and just jump right into this. Okay folks, I'm about to start streaming. Sorry about that. My first time doing this, so you'll have to forgive me for any errors I make while I do so. Alright, so Cooking V3 is a massive update to everything we've done so far. We decided we needed to do a new cooking system because we've just had way too many errors with it ever since the beginning. Cooking version 1 had its own issues, Cooking version 2 had its own issues. We're hoping to eliminate all of those issues and not have to have anybody have any problems with cooking going forward from version 3. Now, the biggest change we made to version 3 is what we're calling the digital pantry. All ingredients that you use for cooking in version 3 will be stored on our server as digital data. This allows us to skip the issues we had with scanning ingredients, finding extra ingredients, which was a big issue in version 1, not finding ingredients, which was an issue in version 2. We're just eliminating that completely. Now, this doesn't mean that we're eliminating the visuals at all. In fact, we're making some changes to that to make it even more fun and more interactive for you guys. Now, the big thing we're doing for this is, if you look in front of me, you'll see this wonderful little bread box that Hanley created for us. This is something that the update will come with, and we're calling it a scanner. This takes all of your current Life2 ingredients and creates them as digital inventory data. It lets you basically upload everything you currently have onto our server easily. All you have to do is res it out, put stuff in front of it, and click on it basically. Now, the really cool thing about this is you can put as many ingredients as you want out and it will scan all of them. While we were testing this, I believe Angel put out something like 1,000 ingredients and it added all of them to her digital pantry. Now, when we click on it, we get this wonderful menu, and you'll find that I've learned how to make excellent menus. Now, our options are pretty straightforward, and hopefully those of you who are watching can actually see the menu in great detail. But our options are basically to scan things, to turn the hover text on and off, and our new favorite feature, to show and hide the range of the scanner. Now, if you watch and when I click show range, it takes a moment, but this nice little ring appears. Everything inside of that ring will get scanned and added to your digital inventory when you click scan. Now, if you look, you can see I already have some ingredients rezzed out for us. And this is actually the ingredients that came out of the box for the recipe for the Arnold Palmer that we make in the picture that I have off to the side. So when I click scan, you can actually see that it begins scanning, and if you just wait a moment, it starts adding the ingredients to my inventory. Right now it's adding my sugar, and if we give it a few moments, I believe you can actually see down here it's saying you've added 1 Life2 sugar to your account. You now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it will just keep taking uses and adding them to my inventory. And once it's done, the sugar disappears. It's self-cleaning. Now it's adding my water. I now have 1, 2, added my lemon, added another water, and it'll just continue cycling through the ingredients until it's added everything that's an ingredient inside of the ring. And we'll go ahead and give that a moment. It's almost done, I promise. And voila. All of those ingredients have now been added to my database, and if I click on here, I can actually click hide range, and that nice little ring that shows us where to load our, well, to res out our ingredients will disappear. I can even turn the hover text off so you can just leave it resed out on your counter for whenever you might need to use it in the future. And then we can just close the menu. And that's basically all you have to do to load current ingredients into the new system. And now this is where cooking gets fun. Now what we have here is the standard picture that you guys are all used to. And when you click on it, you get a menu with either stir, which would allow me to go straight into cooking, but let's explore the options menu because this has changed a lot too. So when I click on options, I get a new menu. Now on here we have some main menus and some sub menus, and I'll go over all of those one by one. The first menu we have is the access menu. And this is where you can do the things you're used to doing, your whitelisting, your group access, whatever the case may be for who you want to be able to use your utensils. So if I click on access, I go to a new menu. I can set it so anyone can use my utensil. I can set it to group, so whatever group the object is set to, we'll check to make sure that they're wearing the tag. So you family folks can just wear your family tag and use the family utensils. Can set it so that only you can use it as the owner. You can use a whitelist, so people you want to add that are maybe not family members, or as someone pointed out before, maybe a school for cooking. You can whitelist your students. You can also edit that whitelist to remove people from it, and we can go back to the main menu. I'm going to leave it on owner only now, but I want you to notice that next to owner only there's a nice little check mark. So if I click it to anyone can use it, you can see the check marks move to anyone, so you know what your access setting is set to. I'm going to set it back to owner only now, and then I'm going to go back to the main menu. Now this next option is brand new to Cooking V3 because of the digital inventory, and this is sharing. This turns ingredient sharing on or off. What that means is, say you're the parent and you have your little kids that'll be cooking with you, or using your utensils to cook when you're not around so that they can feed themselves if you've got to be out of SL for a day or two. With sharing, it's either allowed or not allowed. If it's not allowed, it doesn't do anything special. But if you allow it, your children or family members or even your guests or friends that are allowed to use your utensil can also use your ingredients. Now this doesn't mean that they take your ingredients exclusively. In fact, it will check for any ingredients they own and then only take what they need that's left over from yours. So if they need 4 water for a recipe and only have 3, it will only take 1 water from you, and only if you have that water. And it automatically comes defaulted to not allowed. So again, if you run a school or a family or something along those lines, you can allow family or students to use your ingredients. Now, this next feature is something that's been in the system since version 1, but we found many people didn't know about it or didn't realize how it worked. And it's something that's actually really very cool, and that's the cooking area feature. And this allows you to set a spot where you want your utensil to move to when it's cooking something. So for example, if you're baking something and you have the baking pan, you can set it so that the baking pan moves inside of your oven while it's cooking. So when you go to the cooking area menu, you basically move your baking pan into the oven, you click the Save Spot button, and then you move your baking pan out of the oven onto your counter. And the next time you cook with it, the baking pan will move from your counter into your stove while it's cooking, and then when it's done cooking, it will move back to your counter. So that's an amazing feature we've had since the beginning, but again, not many people understood what it was used for because, well, we had bed menus. We're fixing that. So we're going to go back to the main menu again. Now this next feature was something we added with Cooking version 2 and will continue to have, and that's the change color feature. And this allows you to change the color of your utensil to whatever you want it to be. And that works like any of our other color changing features we've added in our new items. So if you're familiar with those, you'll be familiar with this. Now the next option is the hover text option. With Cooking V3 we added something new that you'll see then when I actually do a cooking demonstration. Now the hover text is basically an on-off switch. You can have it on or you can have it off. Personally, I like it on because I think it looks cool. This next feature is something a lot of people have asked for and something we're adding in version 3, and that's actual volume control for the sound effects that the cooking items make. So you can actually change the volume of your utensil. So if you click on the volume button, it takes you to a menu and you have 10 different settings you can use for the volume, with 0 being muted and 1 being the loudest it can possibly be. And I'm going to go ahead and leave that there because the pitcher isn't known for being very loud, unlike, say, a frying pan when you're cooking that bacon that just makes your ears hurt. So we can change the volume on that in the future. And that's basically it for the options menu for the new utensils. A lot of cool things, a lot of options you can change, and we're going to see them in action now. So, as you can see, I still have my pitcher out. You saw me add current ingredients that you can buy in the store right now to my digital pantry. So, I'm going to click on the pitcher again, and this time I'm going to click the stir option. And this is going to bring up another menu. Now, here's something a lot of people didn't understand about Cooking version 2, and it's my fault for not making it clear, but now you're going to know how it works. With this, it tells you you can type in a recipe name or the ID number for the recipe you would like to cook. A lot of people aren't going to know the ID number, but if you go to the website and you look at the recipes that you can cook, it will show you the ID number for the recipe, but you don't have to type it in. Now remember, I put in the ingredients for an Arnold Palmer. Now, this is what's amazing. I want to make the Arnold Palmer, so we can type in the name of the recipe for Arnold Palmer, but you don't have to type in the full recipe name. In fact, I'm only going to type in 3 letters. A, R, N. That's it. That's all I'm typing in. And once I've typed those in, I hit submit. Bam. You get the options. I can either make an Arnold Palmer or a strawberry Arnold Palmer. Now, I only put in the ingredients for a regular Arnold Palmer, so that's what I'm going to be making, but I want to note something else. If you look, the numbers don't start at 1. In fact, they're 10 and 11. Those are the ID numbers for the recipes. So if you have a recipe that you're making multiple times for whatever reason, in the future, now that you've seen what the recipe number is, you don't have to type in Arnold or Arnold Palmer or even ARN. You can just type in 10. And it'll pull it up for that. So I want to make the Arnold Palmer, and my pitcher is sitting there nice and patiently waiting for me to make my selection. So let's cook it. So I click 10 to make the Arnold Palmer. My selection's made. It's preparing it. I have all the ingredients, and bam, it is cooking. Now, the best part, my favorite part, is that nice little progress bar over the pitcher. Each stage has its own progress bar, and this is what the hover text would show or hide if you chose to hit it. And every stage, you'll see the progress bar filling. And then once it fills, uh-oh. Haha! It scared me for a moment there. I thought it broke because of the lag. At least that's what I was going to blame it on. But there, it went to the next stage. I'm mixing in the sugar now. And the progress bar is loading while we wait. Do-dee-doo-doo-doo-dee-doo. Now, some people might not enjoy seeing the progress bar, and, you know, to each their own. That's why we have the hover text option to turn it off so you don't actually have to see it. Personally, I think it makes a nice visual to let you know how it's cooking and how long it's taking, and in the future when we add recipes that take much longer to cook, like say crock pot recipes. We all know a good roast beef dinner takes at least 4 to 6 hours to get nice and tender, and we'd like to do something to represent that in the future. And bam, I have made an Arnold Palmer. Not just an Arnold Palmer. I got myself a tasty Arnold Palmer. I'm going to go ahead and keep that. So, that was cooking. Now, a lot of you are saying, well, what about the ingredients? We didn't get to see them out. This is true. And for that, for the people who like to role play, seeing their ingredients and seeing them on the counter when they're cooking, which we know a lot of you do, we've actually got a solution to that. And for that, I'm going to go ahead and go to my little box over here. Now you're asking why? Well, that's easy. Inside of this, I have some recipes that I'm going to be cooking for you guys to demonstrate how these things work. And in here, you can see we've got another Arnold Palmer, a BLT, some boiled eggs, cooked bacon, and spaghetti and mushroom sauce. So I'm going to go ahead and copy that to my inventory. And you can see here, I have them. Now, one of the cool changes we were able to make is, in the past when you bought a recipe box, you had to open the box, take the ingredients out, and then rezz them out to actually use the ingredients, which could be a bit of a pain. Well, the new recipes are much different. When you rezz it out, get a little warning, because a lot of you like to unpack things a little faster than you should, and this leads to bad things. So do not unpack it and click it to begin. Now, if you look at it, for this demonstration, it's just a bag. In the future, it'll be something else. This is just a placeholder. You can see the recipe box contains everything I need to make an Arnold Palmer. It's got the black tea. We got 1 copy of the black tea. We got 1 ice, 1 lemon, 1 sugar, and 4 water. And you know how I add all those ingredients to my inventory? I click on it, and I get a menu. It asks me if I want to claim the ingredients and add them to my online pantry, and I do. So we're going to go ahead and click claim. And all of those materials or ingredients have been added to my digital pantry. Done. And we're going to go ahead and do that for the BLT. Done. And the boiled eggs recipe. Done. And some bacon. Done. And the spaghetti with mushroom sauce. Done. All of that stuff has been added to my inventory. Now when V3 is released, you'll actually be able to go on the website and look and see what you actually have available in your inventory. Now, we were discussing prop ingredients, and for that we designed a nice new system. Yes, they are full perm for me. You can see that they didn't actually disappear from my inventory. They will disappear from your inventory. So don't get used to them being like that on your screen. So for this next part, we have my fridge. Now inside of this fridge, we put a single script. And this is our prop storage script, which you will be able to get and add to your fridges. And what this will do is, well, I'm going to show you. So now that we have that out, the package will come with something much better looking than this little ugly yellow box next to the fridge. But all you have to do is we'll have directions for the system. I'm going to kind of gloss over that for this demonstration. But all you have to do is rezz it out and give it a click. And it will add the props to your fridge and then disappear. Nice and clean, self-cleaning. So if we go and look at our fridge's inventory again, we have all of these wonderful props that have been added to it automatically. Click, quick, clean, easy. So now when we click on our fridge, we get a menu of our props. So please select a prop ingredient from the list below. Well, I'm making the Arnold Palmer again, so I need the black tea. So I'm going to click 1 and get myself the black tea. Now here's where it gets cool. We get a new option. You can give me, so I can give the prop to myself, so it'll go to my inventory and I can rezz it out myself, or I can rezz out the prop. Now to do this, you can't see it, but right here, around here somewhere, there it is. We have our little invisible prop spot. So watch what happens when I click Res Out. The black T appeared on our nice little prop res spot. So I'm going to add another ingredient. I also need ice. So I'm going to click 2. I'm going to res it out. And ta-da! Ice. Now I also need my lemon, so we're going to go ahead and res that out. And you couldn't see it, but bam, there's my lemon. Alright. And I need sugar, so we're going to click 4 for sugar and res that out. And there's my sugar. And we need one final ingredient. We need our water. So I'm going to click 5 and res out. And did my water get hidden by something else? My water doesn't want to appear for some reason. Well, that's okay. We'll skip it for now. It's probably lag from all of you guys watching. So, we've got 4 of the 5 ingredients. Now, the best part about the Cooking V3 is you don't have to have multiple copies of the same prop out at the same time. So, like with Cooking version 1 and version 2, when a recipe called for 4 water, you had to have 4 water resed out for it to work. Well, because we're using the prop system, you only need 1 of each, and it will represent all of the ingredients that you would want. So we're going to go ahead and cook the Arnold Palmer again. So we're going to click here on this nice little thing. We're going to click stir. And you remember what I said about the ID numbers? Well, this time instead of searching for the Arnold Palmer, I'm going to type in 10, which was the Arnold Palmer's ID number. And hit submit. And there it is, an Arnold Palmer. So I'm going to go ahead and click that. And now watch. The ingredients fade slowly away. And they're gone. Now the amazing thing we're doing with the res spot is you can actually put out a res spot for everyone in your family, and it kind of acts as the whitelist of your system. So if you have children, you'll be able to give them a res spot that they can res out on the counter somewhere, and anytime they choose to res out an ingredient from your fridge, it will appear on their personal res spot. So if you have someone who likes cooking on one side of the kitchen and you like cooking on the other, you can each have your own personal res spot to res everything out on. But now I know we've only shown you guys the pitcher, so we're going to show you another utensil, and this one we're going to go ahead and use the cutting board. Now the cutting board the prep board has had some complaints about the sound, so we're gonna, oops, wrong button. We're gonna go into the options and we're gonna change the volume on this one. I'm gonna go ahead and set it down to 50%, so half the volume. Oh, there's my Arnold Palmer. I'm gonna go ahead and take that. So now I'm gonna click on the prep board, we're gonna prep, and we want the BLT, so I'm gonna go ahead and type in BLT. And submit. And there it is, BLT sandwich. So I'm going to go ahead and select that. Selection has been made. It's preparing it. And now it's doing the cooking. And what everyone likes to see, our wonderful little props rezzing out to be seen. None of that's changed. Everything you're used to there is still there. And the same can be said for all of our other utensils. So for the small pot, for example, we got the boiled eggs for that. So I'm just going to type in egg. And there it is, boiled eggs. And you saw me add the ingredients for it, so I can add that. And it starts cooking. Now, here's a fun thing. I'm going to go ahead and click on the frying pan and let's see here. I'm going to fry something. I'm not sure what's available in the frying pan off the top of my head. I know bacon's in there. Well, let's try hamburger. Oh, sorry, that's not an actual recipe. Ha ha ha, see? You get this nice little message letting you know that it's not. We're going to go ahead and do bacon though. Oh, wait. Need to change the volume. This one's also known to be quite loud. So we'll go to volume, and we'll go ahead and put that at half too. We'll fry up some bacon. Ah, perfect. Now, we all know that I added the raw bacon necessary to make cooked bacon, but I didn't add anything necessary for a bacon omelet or bacon and eggs. I didn't add any, well, I did add some eggs, but they've been used already. So, I'm gonna try and make the bacon omelet that we know I don't have the ingredients for. So I'm gonna go ahead and click on that. And voila. You not only can't make it, but it tells you, sorry, it looks like you're missing some ingredients. You have 0 Life2 bacon, but you need 2. You have 0 Life2 butter, but you need 1. And you have 0 Life2 cheddar, but you need 1. And I have 0 Life2 eggs, but I need 4, and milk, which I don't have either. So I'm missing a lot of ingredients for that particular recipe. So let's go ahead and just make the regular bacon. And voila. Now, I wanted to show you guys one last thing, and that's the cooking spot. So we've got our large pot here, which we had the spaghetti recipe for that I added the ingredients. So we're going to go to the options. We're going to go to cooking area, and we're going to go to save spot. And it says from now on your utensil will move to this position when you begin cooking something. Once cooking is done, it will move back to where you rezzed it out. And we can go to main menu and close. So if you watch, I'm going to go ahead and move my pot from where it was. Oops. And we're going to say over to there. So now watch. When I click on the pot, I get the normal menu, cook. I'm just going to put in SPAG for spaghetti. And I can't remember if I got spaghetti with mushroom sauce. Well, I can check. Alright, we got the spaghetti with mushroom sauce recipe. So we're going to select 49. Selection's made. It's preparing. And voila. It moves right over to the stove and begins cooking. Alright, now while that's cooking, that's basically the majority of what you need to know. I'm sure there are some nuances that I'm forgetting to mention, but that covers all of the major changes, shows you how everything works, lets you see that you'll be able to really be able to do a lot of different things with this. And this will actually help us in the future when we expand with new recipes and new ways of actually crafting in Life2. Currently our only real crafting system is cooking, but we have plans to add many different others. And as we go forward, moving to this new system will be a huge help to us and eliminate a lot of the headaches you guys have had to deal with the previous cooking systems, which I wholeheartedly apologize for. And this will let us move towards the future, and it will be a very bright future indeed. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I hope I've been eloquent enough to explain the different things, and I apologize for the few mistakes I've made tonight, but I hope you can forgive me, and I hope you guys have enjoyed this demonstration. And I'm going to go ahead and stop the stream now and switch back to Demented so we can get to the wonderful Q&A part of this. So thank you all.